Hey guys, welcome back. Ryan D has reached out to me and asked to use my platform to come out. There's been some allegations against Ryan. Also where his sisters come out. We're going to have to literally have like a 2 or 3 part after this video. We're going to have like 2 or 3 different parts because there's a lot that goes into this, and I need to I'm going to have, in order to break everything down for you guys, I'm going to have to literally, give me just a second here. Yeah, I'm going to have to break it down into 2 or 3 different videos. So this video, Ryan has asked to come forward. Oh, no. I'm not defending Ryan at all. I'm opening up my platform because I know I said that he was not going to be back on this platform again, but I feel like we need to, there's more into this story than what you know. And yeah, Ryan did say that to me. He did apologize, but no, I'm not. I feel like he wants to have a chance to have somewhere neutral, I guess, where he can kind of tell his side of the story. So we're going to go ahead and give him that opportunity. He does say that he has a witness. Also, and like I said, there's a lot of things that I want to say also, and I need to, this doesn't mean Ryan's going to be back on the channel, but I am opening up. No, Rhonda, I'm not. I'm just opening up the panel because we're going to go ahead and see what Ryan has to say, and we're going to give Ryan his chance to speak. I have spoke with his sister, so I kind of have an idea of what's going on. So yeah, sweet Ma, I know what you guys are saying. So you guys don't feel like I need to give him a chance to come on and like say what he needs to say, or because this is your guys' platform. And if you guys are so against it, I have to go with what you guys say. But he did ask me for a chance to come on to give his side. So what do you, well, see, that's what I'm saying. There's going to be a part 2 and a part 3. And I did hear a recording. Okay, sweet Ma. Well, I don't know. What do you guys say? I mean, I'm going to let you guys choose. What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want him to come up here and tell his side, or do you guys and try to stay like, because I was thinking I could stay neutral. I mean, and ask some questions. So you guys want me to hear him out? I'm getting a mixture, you guys. I don't know what to do. Well, he did say today that he went to the police department, and the police did come. Well, I have a recording, but see, this is supposed to be in part 2. He has to say it's going to make up for what he has done. Okay, well, you know what, Danae? Because I love you so much, I'm Danae and Sweet Ma, I have to listen to them. I have to listen to them. Okay. So, all right. Because I figured that you guys would like want to hear another side of the story. But if just to kind of like so you guys have like the full picture. But if we're not for this, then we're not going to do it. And especially after Danae and Sweet Ma is not for it, and you guys are not for it, no, we're not going to do it. Oh, wow. See, and there's a lot of things I don't know either. I have spoke with the sister. He basically started a racial war here on YouTube between all the channel holders. People like him keep the race crap going. Lady says, Sasha, it's your choice. I truly don't believe him, and he seems a little demon himself. Okay, I get you guys. Yeah, I'm Sweet Ma. I heard some of the things that he said about me, and it was upsetting. It was very upsetting. So yeah, that's crazy. Well, see, this is the thing too. He said today that he went to the police department to make a to give the police Star's phone number. And because he said that he called the number himself, and I'm gonna play that for you guys. Okay, let me play it for you. I'm gonna play it for you. Hold on. If I can find it. Okay. Now he's saying that. Did you guys hear this recording yet? I don't know. Let me see.
You okay? Who do you want to speak to? Who's calling? James. Pastor James. I'm sorry, you have the wrong number. No, this ain't the wrong number. This is Star's number. Who are you? No, I'm not. Yes, 443-301-7574. That's Star's number. Click. How did I find her that quick?
So now he's saying that after that he went to the police department and he had the police call her number, and they said that the police had said that if she does not return their call within so long, they're going to put out a missing persons report on her. Ryan said the police came back and told him, we did make contact with her. She called us back immediately and said, hey, I'm all right. I'm here. I'm fine. But Ryan had asked for proof or, something that can prove that. And they said that they couldn't give that information to him because it's against some kind of thing they have. So what do you guys think about that? Because I just need proof. I need to know also where she's at. I did try to call that number too that is on that recording. So, and then also, you guys, and another thing that led me to say, well, maybe we'll let him tell, bring his witness. Maybe because in that thing that I guess on World News's page where he showed that where Brian was, I guess where he had the kid, like he used the kids for a human shield or something. Hang on, let me block her. So, because Black Widow, she is like with him. She works with him, with Ryan. But the year of that happened was 2019. Tamika says she doesn't believe him. Yeah, Crown, I don't want to get in the middle of it. I thought, maybe I could try to stay neutral and try to, give, I don't know. I just think, I don't know. So you guys all believe that he is, I mean, because he did make up some pretty bad things about me too. And it's unbelievable, like what he said about me even. So US of Asia said there's zero time to waste energy on troubled souls. Yeah. Exactly. Let him tell his story. He was the last person seen with Star. He had a platform. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we'll let him tell his story on his platform. So I apologize, you guys. He came to me. He let me listen to that recording, and I figured that I was gonna try to give him a chance to at least tell his side, because I did speak to his sister, and I'm not sure. He didn't have an excuse, sweet mom. He just apologized, but he didn't deny it, because I asked him. I said, for one thing, I'm not 50. I said, I might be old. I don't care. But, I said, but the fact that you would go and tell people that I wanted to cut ties with you, just because I wanted to do, I wanted something like that with you. I said, that's crazy. Space says, I'm just wondering why he came to you after he mistreated you, expecting you to speak out about this. That's not reasonable. And, I think something else is too, that I didn't hear him say anything. And so I think I just heard about it. And so, and I heard what he said was pretty bad. And I want to try to be that type of person that I'm not trying to hold grudges. And you can say whatever you want to about me. I'm still going to forgive you. I could forgive you, but that don't mean I'm going to give you an extra chance. And sometimes, and I was going to give him a chance to come on here and give his side of the story, but I was debating it, and I knew you guys were going to come on here and say, nope, nope, nope. And I thought, well, if that happens, I have to listen. So I'm not going to let it. I'm not going to let him. And Sweet Moss says he always apologizes and tries to make amends, like his own sister said. Yeah. I don't know. I just wish all this, I don't even know how I even got caught up in all this, honestly. And I will say that the whole thing with Lex, that whole thing with Lex, she, I had tried and tried and tried giving her a chance, like, to come on and speak her whatever, but I don't know, you guys. I have messages, so I there's some things that I know for sure, things that I've not put out there because I'm trying not to, like, when you know somebody's not all the way up there in their head, you don't want to come out and expose them and say, okay, this is the truth about certain things, you know. Now somebody else can go out and say whatever they want to about me, and it's not the truth, but I can show you proof about them. And what stops me is I know that person ain't right in the head. Something's wrong. So I have refrained from doing that. Ashley says Ryan blew it. He messed up. We can forgive and forget. Well, I forgive him. I haven't forgotten. And just because I was going to let him up on my platform to give him a chance, it doesn't mean it was forgotten. But I don't know. I ended the whole thing with Ryan just because of the thing that there was a lot of things that wasn't right. You know, there was I don't know. I did a whole video on that, trying to explain why, you know, I ended ties or cut ties with him. And I don't regret that. And, you know, I even explained to him that you know, you're all over the place. You're so busy online saying what you're going to do and not actually doing anything. And so, yeah. So does anybody want to, I'm going to send my link because I want to hear what you guys have to say. Okay. So if anybody wants to come up. Oh, Sweet Ma says Sasha, let him speak, but you must. No, I'm not, because you know what? I made that decision. I wasn't going to allow him back up here, and for a split second, I wanted to give him that chance, even though what he could be saying is true, or what he could be saying is not true. Well, either way, I was going to try to just be neutral, ask some questions, but at the same time, if my people are telling me not to do it, I'm not going to do it. It's something they don't want to hear, and I'm not going to do it. So I understand what you guys are saying, so I'm going to respect that, you know. But I was, at least knowing everything that was said about me, I was still going to give him his chance, though, and try to ask him some questions and ask his witness some questions. You want to hear him lie, Monica? I think I just scrolled up. I see we all know he's fake all over. I just think we should just, like, I don't know. Sweet Ma once said we just need to let it die out. Let him die out. But like some, I don't know. Like something that sometimes when you like look into things, you see something just isn't right, and there's just a few things that's not right, and I needed to ask some questions. That's why I wanted him on here, and it wasn't the things that just wasn't right. is the fact that that news article where he was holding children, he's only got one child. And that news article was released in 2019. He wasn't, I think it said he was 33. He's 39 now. So he would have only been he would have been 36 when that happened, 37. Yeah, Monica, he did apologize. He didn't deny saying what he said about me. Yeah, Priscilla, I spoke with his sister yesterday. And that's why I was going to, after letting him on to speak and letting his witness come on, I was going to do a part 2 and show certain things that I had. But you guys stopped me, and I was going to let it all out. I'm telling you. And I'm not going to do that, because once again, you guys reminded me that I should, I'm not going to do that. So, but I was going to try to stay neutral, ask my questions, and then in part 2 and 3, show my receipts. But I'm going to keep everything I have, because like I said, one person that was involved, I don't believe this person is right in the head. So I don't think that it would be right of me to kind of retaliate and come out with my receipts and expose this person. So I'm not going to do that. I think it's, you mean the one where they interviewed his sister? In that video, he had a article in that video where he said that Ryan McLaughlin, or however you say his last name, was arrested in Connecticut in 2019, and because I guess he had locked his wife out of the house and had the children in front of him when the police went in. And yeah, and in 2019, he showed me proof, because I needed all this proof. I wanted everything before I made a decision to even allow him to come on. And he did show me where he was living in Rhode Island. He wasn't even in Connecticut. He wasn't 33 or 31. I think it said he was 31 or 33. He wasn't 33 or whatever in 2019. And then he showed me proof of where he was living in 2019. And it wasn't Connecticut. And all in all, I don't know. You have to outweigh the good with the bad, and you see something like that and you're like, right is right, wrong is wrong. If somebody's and his sister saying that his dad wasn't in a cult, come on, guys. We've seen the proof. I think Ryan has a lot of issues because of the fact that maybe where he was abused. I think he went through a lot as a child growing up. I've seen messages that his dad used to send to his mom, and it's pretty bad, guys. And I think we all know, I don't know. I'm just trying to see the good in everybody. Even sometimes when there's no good in nobody, Yeah, I know. But see, his sister runs that church, guys. His sister now runs that church. And her side of the story, because see, here's her side of the story. My dad's a good man. He never did anything wrong. And then Ryan's side of the story is my dad was an abusive man. He wasn't a good man. He was a cult leader. And I've seen I've seen some things about that man. He's not a very good man from what I've seen, in my opinion. And just let me say, everything in this video I'm saying is just my opinion, and it's allegedly. But I've seen some things, guys. And that's why I wanted to kind of like neutrally be neutral about it, put out all the facts, and then let you guys make your choice. And like here, you know, because if, you know, allegedly, if his sister still is in that, she's kind of like the woman over in Carbon Nation. She's kind of like brainwashed by her father, if that's the case. And so, of course, everything, her father could do no wrong. So what I had to do these last couple of days is kind of like talk to the sister, in which I did, and then get his opinion, let him know what was said by the sister, let him tell his side of it. And he sent me a lot of proof, and he sent me some things. And so, yeah, and you're right, Priscilla. We're never going to know the 100% truth. And that's why, yeah, Crown, I think that's why I think that you guys are in the right and not wanting him to come up, because he also probably still has that in him, like where I don't know, maybe where he wants to start something like his own thing. So that I don't know. There's always two sides to a story, but I think in this I think, unfortunately, it's just a sad case, because I think all the children, I think the children were affected negatively by this man. And I do think that, I think that he was a cult leader. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. And of course, the daughter is going to, you know, she's going to defend him. So, does anybody, I'm going to put out the link again. I'm going to see if anybody wants to come up and give their 2 cents, you know, on this issue. If anybody wants to come up, I would like to hear what you guys have to say about this. Let's get into it. Crown says, well, if he's got all this proof, he can show it himself. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Devices not connected. Lizard, I know you're trying to join, but it's saying the device isn't connected. It says you'll need to connect your mic and cam before you can add them to the stream. Okay, sweet ma. Lizard, if you want to retry, I think if you don't want to, if you don't want to like come on, you can like cam down somehow. I don't know how they do it because I've never tried to go up on someone's panel before. But there's a way you can cam down if you wanted to come back up. You guys, there was so many things that was said about me, but I've tried so hard to keep my mouth shut because I know one of the people that was saying that this person ain't right. So I could show my receipts, but I'm not going to. And I was told he married his dad's ex-wife too. Well, believe me, I asked him all these questions. I was on top of it. I'm like, okay, prove it. That's one thing I didn't make him prove though. But he did say he was only married once and he only had one daughter. And crazy how the sister sounded so worried about the daughter. Yeah. Well, I have all of her text messages. And her emails. Because she reached out to me and I did ask her some tough questions, guys. I'm not gonna lie about it. I asked her some tough questions. I wanted to know everything. I asked her about her dad, and the minute you ask her about her dad, she gets defensive. She gets really defensive. And she doesn't want to hear anything bad about her dad at all. Kind of like the Carbonation girls, Nature Boys girls. They get really defensive if you talk about him. Yeah, I didn't ask her to prove who she was, but I did look up the number. I looked up because I have her phone number, and I did look up her Facebook to make sure that that was her. And she did say some things that led me to know that that was her. So yeah, it was her. And she was really, really defensive when she wanted me to stop talking about her dad. But I think, before you do a video, like how I was going to do it, like a 2 or 3 part video, and I wanted to put everything out there. And so I did ask the tough questions out of everybody. And I'm not sure, Space. I think she is. She never told. Let me see. She never mentioned how old she was, but let's stay with this. Like when I asked her about the mom, and I'm trying to explain to her, the thing is though, was your mom and Ryan excommunicated because they left the church, and she said that she was trying to say, no, my mom was not disowned. She left because they divorced. But if that's the case, then why are you going around your mom? She didn't want to answer the tough questions. Like, why are you not speaking to your mom then? Then divorcing had nothing to do with you and her. Yeah, and Shriek, I did talk to his mom before. And yeah, I believe the only child that she really talks to is Ryan. And it's because they were, to hear them say it, they were excommunicated because they left the church. And because the mom divorced him. Hey, I say let him on. That doesn't mean you agree with him. It just gives his side, which is just being fair. It should say nothing about you and your opinion on him. Yeah, but I have to go with what everybody's, like the majority of the people say. And if they don't want him on here, I have to respect that. I have to respect it. And then I was getting ready to, I've been hearing some stuff. I was going to let it all out. I'm telling you, I was going to let all my receipts out. And I thought, no, it's probably better that you guys stop me because she says, I would like to know why he's out here acting like a pastor. LOL. Sasha, look at my previous comment. I agree with the person you just read. Wow. You mean about the him out here acting like a pastor? Let's see. She said it was a lot of family drama and they don't talk often. That's normal. Exactly. It is normal in families sometimes. I just didn't believe a lot of what Ryan was saying. He was all over the place when speaking. And the thing is that Ryan is always all over the place though. That's what got me to cutting ties with him, because just like the whole thing that started, and I should have probably known something was up when, because I unblocked him long enough, because this is a while back, but I sent him a message and I was like, did you say this stuff about me? And that's when he apologized to me. And I forgot to block him back. And then, but he did admit to saying it, and he did apologize. But then today he messaged me, and was it today or no? It was yesterday. And he said something about. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. He was saying, I ended my IG and I ended Bigo. And I do want to say, that I wish you the best or something. And I was like, I said, oh, well, thank you for that. Because I was kind of shocked, because I thought, oh, I didn't block him back. And so I just said that. And then, I figured, well, maybe he's done. But then I got notification like 30 minutes after that he was going live on Bigo last night, right after he sent me that message. And that is part of the reason why I cut ties, is because you cannot be all over the place like that. It doesn't look right at all. And and then it was just a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, Crown says, when people show you who they are, believe it. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I heard her say that was like 8 wives. Is that true? He's saying that he was only married one time. But see, if a lot of what she's saying is not true, he could take a lot of the stuff that he sent me, and then he could, like you guys said, like go on his live and show everything. He can show where, if he was only married once, he could, all that takes is a trip to the courthouse or something, or I don't know. I mean, there's ways out there. That's why everything that I was hearing, I was trying to get proof to debunk it, to prove it or to not to prove it. Space says spiritual marriages versus legal marriages. There's no proof of non-official marriages, to be fair. Yeah. And that's what I was trying to do. There was a whole lot of things that he was saying, and he was showing me a whole lot of proof that made me think, well, and you guys can't deny that the father is not a cult member. It was all over the news. There's a woman that came forward that said that he tried something with her. So, but see, at the same time, that man, he's sick right now. So, we shouldn't even be speaking on him. But at the same time, back in his little heyday, he wasn't a very nice man. I could tell you that from what I'm seeing, in my opinion. I've seen messages a message he sent to his Ryan's mom. Yeah. Something's off about that man. When I first saw him, he doesn't move right. I think a lot of it is he's just, I think he's experienced a whole lot of abuse, my opinion. And he said it himself that he has went through an extreme amount of abuse. And I don't think that's gonna, no, I think Ryan isn't to be trusted. But some of the things he did debunk, though. He did show proof. And I have to say that. But at the same time, I don't know. Intrigue Me said another thing I called out on is that he is always in the dark or covering his face. I scrolled his IG and all videos are dark and ominous. Scared me a bit. Yeah. So the whole family is against Ryan except for the mom. Well, the ones that are still in the church, his sister is the leader of that church now. And so everyone who left the church was just Ryan and his mom. And they were, I guess, to hear Ryan say it, they were told not to have anything to do with Ryan or the mom. And there is like some family members that are still like, that's not in with the church anymore, that the mom and Ryan also are in contact with. And so, yeah. Ashley says, please know now that he busted, he wants to try to apologize to you. So someone that's a good person can have his back. He's trying to use the good in you. Yeah, that could be. It could be. The sister might stay with dad because he's the money and ego. The sister wants to be the savior. Yeah, that's, and I hate to say that because because then it took me a while, I'm thinking, why would she just come out and say this stuff? But then when you really dig into it, you have to say, okay, well, it's just like with any cult, any member of a cult, they're going to defend it, especially if you're the leader now. I mean, if she took over her dad's position, she is now the leader. And Space says, I seem to remember him discussing excommunication as a means of control in his cult. That's a common technique, and it was even used in until recently, just being fair. Yeah. Well, isn't are you talking like Scientology even is like that? Yeah, the brother-in-law doesn't deal with him either. That's her husband. And also I did, because see, I'm trying to, every time he would tell me something or send me the proof, if he didn't have that right away on him, then I would ask the sister, hey, there's, you made a statement. Well, she even told me this yesterday. She told me all this about Ryan pulling the knife on the son. And I asked her, I said, do you have proof? Because she said that she even still had a restraining order. So I asked her, I said, do you have proof that you still have a restraining order or have ever had a restraining order on Ryan? And she wouldn't answer me. It's like I ask her questions, and if she doesn't want to answer it, she just does not answer at all. Right, Monica. And exactly, Crown. She says there's two sides to every story and the truth in the middle. I believe Ryan is not that innocent. He's moves real funny, and a lot of people don't trust him, so that's saying something. Right. I think if Ryan has been through as much as he says he's been through, and I do believe it. I do. I think he needs to probably maybe get some help so he can work out those issues. But I don't think he's as guilty as people are saying that he is. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, because I've seen things that he sent me. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Intrigue. Hold on, because I almost lost your comment there. Okay. How does everyone feel about the convo he had with Nature Boy, where Ryan said, if they are lying on me, then they have to be lying on you, Nature Boy. So I don't know anymore. I was like, Ryan, stop it. Yeah. I think he said that to him after we did a video on him one day, and we had agreed not to speak on Ryan anymore. And that's when, like that night, he went live with Nature Boy or something, and he started saying, oh, well, maybe Nature Boy isn't as bad as people are letting on. And he's, because they're calling me a liar. Well, I wasn't really calling him. I might have called him a liar. I don't know. I don't remember, but it's in that video. And I was just saying that I don't think he is lying. I just think that he's all over the place. I think that's what he's guilty of. I think we were all looking for him to bring down Nature Boy. And we all got disappointed when we found out it was nothing behind it. And I told him that. I said it was a huge disappointment. Everybody got disappointed. I said, I can't I can't allow something like that on my panel. I can't. Like, one minute you're saying something, or like if you say, hey, Ryan, don't tell Nature Boy what you're going to do, because he's going to be 2 steps ahead of you. As soon as you do that, he's all over the internet telling what he's going to do that he's not really doing. But he's all everywhere saying what he's going to do, and he's right after you tell him not to do that. And everybody tells him. It's not just me or a few other people. It's a lot of people out there telling him to just keep it, work undercover. Why you have to be online about all this stuff, Yeah, Crown. That's exactly. Sweet Ma says that's why you should let him speak, but I don't like him for all the BS I've seen. I could be wrong. Yeah. Monica wants to know, do you want to know what I think their religion is? I'm not sure. I do believe that, well, I have some audio I can let you guys listen to. But I'm going to say, too, that since his sister took over, she could be trying to clean it up a little bit. I don't know, because I've not seen a lot of what she's doing. I don't know anything about the church. I just know about the man and what people are saying about him. And so let me play you a couple audios here so you guys can kind of see. Hold on, if I can find them. Give me a minute, guys. I'm sorry. Give me a minute, guys. Okay, just listen to this one first.
Ignorance, innocence, excitement, all rolled up into one. That's how Herb Fuller felt when he first got involved with Grace Bible Church, located at the start of our investigation in Rehoboth. Fuller said he was looking for answers, wanted to serve God, and he thought this man, Bob McLaughlin, could tell him how. He told me that there was tremendous blessing in store for me, that God had great blessing for me, and that he was going to show me how to live according to God's word. Grace Bible Church is not for the casual Christian. Members are urged to attend services 6 times a week. From this hidden camera video, you can see instead of pews, tables and chairs. On the day we were there, it was a packed house. And members take notes while their pastor teacher lectures. But the church and its pastor have some financial problems, something that McLaughlin didn't hesitate to share with Fuller, a successful businessman. He said he'd be shutting the doors in the church. He had maxed out all his credit cards. The offerings weren't keeping up with the expenses. So, believing he was doing God's will, Fuller started contributing large amounts of money to Grace. He needed to have an influx of money. I think within the first 3 or 4 months, I had given $70,000 or $80,000. Eventually, over $200,000 in property and money. Who knew about this? Fuller said only a few within the church, and no one outside the church. He says that's just the way McLaughlin wanted it. So for me, he wanted me to get away from my professional, whether it was my accountant, my lawyer. Even my wife didn't know what I was getting into this. My wife would have gone for this. Fuller's life became the church. He says he either spoke with or saw McLaughlin every day. He went to church services 6 times a week. So when his pastor suggested that a new, larger church needed to be built, Herb agreed to do the job. Actually, Fuller agreed not only to build this church in Swansea, but also this house, a parsonage in Portsmouth, for the pastor and his family. The estimated worth of both properties, $1 billion. I was setting myself up what was in store for tremendous blessings, more blessings than I could ever imagine. And the new church and house were blessings for the church and McLaughlin, too. According to court papers, the total church budget is less than $200,000 a year, including a salary of $310 per week for McLaughlin, as well as $25,000 per year for housing and transportation. Yet Fuller has charged in court papers that McLaughlin's lifestyle is beyond his means, and that's supported by those who say they know him well.
Don't tell me that the church needs money and I'm gonna, buy a car, that costs almost $30,000.
This former church member who asked us to conceal his face is talking about the IROC Z Camaro convertible that McLaughlin drives. That's not all.
It's some of the nice restaurants in Rhode Island. And I don't think I could ever afford that, right now.
Weren't you ever questioning how he could possibly afford it?
I just never questioned anything because then I felt that I'd be judging him.
And that's also why this former usher in the church didn't question McLaughlin's unconventional way of collecting the offering.
You count the money, you separate the cash from the checks, and then at the end of service, which is when we collect the money, he comes in and stuffs everything in his bag and he takes off. We went out to eat pizza at this restaurant on Federal Hill, and he just reaches into the bag and pulls out the money to pay for the dinner.
Last summer, Fuller says he did start to question what he called McLaughlin's expensive lifestyle. But in a sworn statement, McLaughlin responded to the allegations about his lifestyle by calling them pure nonsense and said the only improvements in his lifestyle were the result of gifts from Fuller. And in a written statement from McLaughlin's lawyers, the board of directors, officers, deacons, and members of Grace Bible Church categorically and emphatically denied that any money of the church has ever been misused by anyone. Eventually, Fuller started to pull away from the church, and then in August, Fuller says a church deacon, Ray Almeida, asked to meet him here at this parking lot along Route 6. According to a sworn statement filed with the court by Fuller, the deacon made a threat. According to the documents, Herb had to immediately sign over the church and parsonage to Grace, where the church secretary would file sexual harassment charges against him and destroy his reputation. Through his lawyer, Almeida denies he ever threatened Fuller in any way, shape, or form. Fuller refused to comply, and only weeks later, he was slapped with a lawsuit by Grace Bible Church, demanding the 2 properties be turned over to them free of charge. In its complaint, the church claims Fuller knowingly, intentionally, and willfully promised to give them those properties, promises on which the church relied. And if they aren't fulfilled, the church claims it'll be severely damaged.
He promised to pay me back everything that I spent.
It was never a gift.
It was never a gift.
Never a donation.
Never a donation.
But in a sworn statement from McLaughlin, he said Fuller acknowledged in public before many persons that he was building a church and parsonage for Grace as a donation. Among the witnesses cited, Jeff Tippins. He says that you heard Herb say that the 2 buildings were a gift. Yes or no?
No, I never heard that.
Right now, the new church, built upon promises of tremendous blessings, is empty. A lawsuit over its ownership is still pending. But the person who built...
Okay, let's listen to this other one where the woman, she's saying how he, what he did to her. Let's see.
Since April, this is where Robert McLaughlin has been preaching, a former wine box building in Somerset that his church converted. We tried to talk to McLaughlin here. First, we were told he wasn't in, then that he was, but was advised by his lawyer not to talk to us. We waited across the street, only to be videotaped by McLaughlin's son, Ryan. McLaughlin's roots are in The Bible Speaks, the mid-70s, a ministry headquartered in Lenox, Massachusetts. He was ordained by its leader, Carl Stevens. McLaughlin lived at the Rhode Island branch in Johnston in the former Swampwater Motel along Route 6. From there, McLaughlin went to Bristol, where he started his own branch along the waterfront. If the Bible Speak sounds familiar, that's because it made headlines in the late 80s when an heiress by the name of Elizabeth Dobie Dennis sued to recover millions of dollars she gave to the church in Lenox. She claimed she was unduly influenced by Pastor Stevens. The court agreed. Meanwhile, McLaughlin broke his ties with the Bible Speaks and aligned himself with a non-denominational church in Houston, Texas. He still has the ordination certificate hanging in his church today. From Bristol, he moved to Warren in 1986 to a church called East Bay Christian Center. Dave Marion was an assistant pastor there and remembers McLaughlin's style of preaching.
Very charismatic. He had a lot of authority in his voice. People commented on the ability that he had to teach, but unfortunately, there was a bit of control there.
He was
Some of that control,
controlling.
according to Marion, involved McLaughlin's sexual advances toward female parishioners.
I probably don't know the extent of it. The ones that I do know, 8 to 10, 8 to 12 maybe, I would say.
8 to 12?
Of immorality. And many of them were women that came for marital counseling. So they were at their weakness. They were there because they were having problems with their husbands.
See, when Pastor Bob made advances towards me, I thought I was the only one who had tried that on. And I was very guilty, feeling, oh my God, I'm making this man fall. Julie Almeida was a parishioner of McLaughlin's at East Bay. Her ex-husband Ray is still a deacon at Grace Bible Church. He demeaned Ray a lot more than he demeaned me because, well, he was Ray's friend. He was always trying to get with me. Marion says after the allegations came to light, McLaughlin was removed from the pulpit in 1991. A former church member who asked that his face not be shown remembers the day when it was announced McLaughlin was leaving.
It was stated plainly the day that I was there. I'll never forget. It was Wednesday night, and it was gross sexual conduct was the term used.
Marion says McLaughlin admitted he had a problem and promised to get help. Marion says the church in turn agreed to continue paying his salary, and within a year he would come back.
There you see, he even admitted to having this problem. There was 8 to 12 women that made these allegations that came forward.
Marion says that did not happen.
He immediately, I guess, began to contact church members and turned it around and told them that it was more of a church conspiracy to take the church from him.
But through a written statement from his lawyer, McLaughlin tells a different story. He says he voluntarily resigned from the church because he felt he no longer had the confidence of the majority of the deacons. McLaughlin also categorically and emphatically denies he ever engaged in sexual misconduct, calling them baseless allegations. After East Bay, this is where McLaughlin ended up, following a few brief stops in Providence and Westport, Massachusetts. Grace Bible Church in Reformant opened its doors in '92. Jeff Tibbins was a member at Grace and says McLaughlin talked about the allegations at East Bay.
I was taught that it was a conspiracy, that because he was God's man, the world was out to get him, and that gave him validity.
And Tibbins says absolute control over those who became what he calls McLaughlin's inner circle.
He sat at the head of the table there, and he said, I trust you guys, because if I said, if there was something on the sidewalk, and I said to pick it up and eat it, you guys would. See, that's how much he had us like that. We would do anything he asked us to do. The motivating driving factors are power and money.
Larry Nichols is a nationally known expert in religion and cults. He studied McLaughlin and his teachings and talked with former members of his church and says,
if you look at the criteria for what constitutes a cult, Bob McLaughlin does fit the bill.
That criteria? A charismatic leader.
This expert is saying that this man fits the bill of a cult leader.
Who controls the congregation with
no accountability whatsoever to anybody but God. Anybody that dares to question him runs the danger, the risk of being castigated from the group, disfellowship from the group.
The church responded once again in writing by calling the allegation ridiculous and saying the expert in this instance has never spoken with any present members of the church or the pastor, but nonetheless believes himself qualified to give an opinion. For those who have left say they're concerned for those who remain and might have their faith twisted as well. Can't believe you can get so many people to be so weak and to keep falling into the same mess.
As long as that guy's in business, he's always going to have something to sell and someone to sell it to. He sets himself up as your pastor, as your friend. So you just go, it's like a lamb being led to slaughter.
A lamb being led to slaughter. You guys. So he was, and these are people that's from his own church that are saying he's very controlling. There's more. It's like right there, they just told you that you can be excommunicated, with threats of being excommunicated. There's people that have sorry, that have I spoke with the witness that Ryan was going to bring on tonight, and I did speak to him, and he said, that the sister is not telling the truth, that she's not telling the truth at all, and that there's a lot more to it than that. There's actually members of that church who have, passed away in a not too good way because of whatever that they experienced while being in that church, taking their own life. So yeah. So what do you guys, I don't know, what do you guys think? Let's see. Does anybody, let's see. Apple says, wait a minute. Oh no. Intrigue says the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, use religion for personal gain, abuse his power over his congregation, and now Ryan wants to start queendom. He wants to be his father. Ryan's on Bigo now, so let him expose himself. Let's see. Space says, why do you think he wants to start a queendom? I've heard people saying that, but I don't get it. He seems to want clout, though. I don't know. Your guess is just as good as mine. This is why I had so many back and forth. And then, for me, I felt like the best thing to do was just to cut ties. And so that's what I did. And it was because of all this back and forth, and just never, I think this is a family issue. I think this is an issue that has to do with a cult, an alleged cult that was led by the member, the leader also of this family. God forbid, maybe after he passes away, God forbid, maybe the family, maybe they can start to slowly come back together. I mean, I don't know. But if the sister is having the same kind of, thoughts and teachings as her father, it's probably, she's probably going to keep to this excommunication. So I don't know. But, and the thing with the, did the sister ever show a restraining order? Because I asked her for proof of that. And if, if this happened and you're making these allegations, you got to be able to show that proof. You got to come out and say, yeah, you know what? It's right here. Why didn't she show it on the interview that she did? I don't get that. I mean, if she was wanting to come out and talk, she's got to be able to, she's coming out of the woodwork. We need to also see proof from her. We can't just, we're so easy to demand receipts from everybody, but until we don't want to see the receipts, but we have to have the receipts. Well, that's another thing. Space. I think somebody contacted her, because the sister told me out of her own mouth that a woman contacted her, and that's how she found out about my channel. And I just put two and two together. And, this is just an allegation, or, just an opinion or a thought. I asked her, I said, is this woman by any chance Lexus? And she didn't answer that. She didn't answer my question. So I think sometimes because I'm going to tell you what happened between Ryan and Lexus. Okay. I'm going to tell you the truth. Ryan, I don't know if you guys remember that day that they came on the panel together. Okay. I had no idea they were even working together. Let's start from the beginning. Okay. When I first had Ryan, there was one time I had Ryan on the panel. Ryan was asking everybody for their help in collecting videos, or he was saying also, hey, if anybody knows how to work a computer, let me know. I'll even pay you to do it, he said. So Lexus kept trying to insert herself, saying, oh, I would like to connect with you. Anyway, Ryan gave a number where for anybody that's serious could contact him, that's serious about working with him, like doing computer work or whatever. And so I guess after the video, Ryan and I guess Lexus had contacted Ryan and at that number that he gave, but I had no idea that they were working together until like a week later that I got a text from Ryan saying, hey, me and Lex are going to come together on your platform to talk about things. And I said, oh, okay. And I thought that was kind of weird, because I was thinking, I never even knew that they, were working together. So, all right, that night, well, when they were on the platform, they were talking about, they were wanting to give Ryan's Bigo, and they invited you guys to come to the Bigo, and I even gave out Ryan's Bigo information. And then I ended my live, and I thought, well, I'd never been to Ryan's Bigo before, so let me go and check it out and see what it's like. I got on there, and Lexus was his administrator. I guess that's what they call him. So it seemed like Lexus was like you could tell she was stressed out. I didn't think anything of it really. And then I could tell she was being short, snappy, with the people in the comment section and on the panel. She was saying how we're not going to discuss that here. This ain't the place to discuss that or this. And I was like, wow, this nature boy thing has her stressed out, and I was thinking, I know how that feels. So that's what I was thinking. She's just stressed out over this nature boy thing. Well, then she started yelling at Ryan and telling him to shut up on his own platform. And so Ryan, after she did that, I could just like things got quiet. And Ryan just ended his live. And I thought, oh my God, that's crazy. And I thought, I kind of had that feeling that maybe that had happened before, but it still wasn't my business. So I didn't insert myself. You know, it's not my business. Those two people are adults. They were working together. I had no idea they were up until that day. And so that's their business, you know? So all I know is between that happening and the next time Ryan came on my panel, he wanted to clear the air, I guess, about somebody had messaged the T and said that he came on to two women or something, and he wanted to defend himself. So I said, yeah, I said, you can come on. And so he had went ahead and said, I think he had said that, I'm not sure who he said that contacted the T, but all of a sudden Lexus was popping in and saying all kinds of things. And I said, okay, you know, I was like, why don't you guys just work this out offline, you know, because you couldn't get them to talk. I tried to bring Lexus up to the panel. I tried to bring them together and to talk calmly, and neither one of them could. Neither one of them were going to talk calmly because for whatever reason they were mad at each other. Okay, it's not my business. I'm not going to get in the middle of somebody's getting a hold of the T, telling her this or I just opened up the platform and gave Ryan the opportunity to give his side of the story. But then all of that happened, and I'm thinking, okay. And I even told them both. I said, look, you guys are going to have to talk peacefully to each other. Let's let's be calm. And they still wouldn't do it. And I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but I ended the live early. I just ended it. I didn't even say bye or anything. I just said, hey, I'm out of here, because they would not stop. And so the next time he came on, and you guys know how Ryan is, he's just talking about everything. He's all over the place, so I'm just sitting there saying, And so here comes Alexis again. And I'm like, God, I'm not going through this. I've asked him, and she's like calling names and stuff. So I'm like, okay. So I blocked it. I blocked her. And so after I blocked her, some time had passed, and I had thought about it, and me and Ryan really didn't have anything against each other. I didn't have anything against Ryan. I just didn't, there was some things that just wasn't sitting right with me. So I decided to end that, cut ties with him. That same day, here comes Lexus emailing me. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, the day that I explained to you guys why I was cutting ties with Ryan, I apologized to her on here. And I said, I'll unblock you. And I said, you can give your side, because maybe where I was maybe not thinking clearly, maybe something happened. Maybe I didn't get the full story. Maybe you just weren't trying to be a controlling, person that I was thinking that you're trying to be. My opinion, there's maybe a little narcissistic behavior there. My opinion. Everybody's got them. I got mine too, And from the emails that she sent me, the first email I sent her back, I even went on to apologize to her 2 more times. okay? And throughout the whole conversation, I kept apologizing to her. Well, if that happened to you, I'm sorry. I was trying to be supportive, because in the back of my mind, I'm remembering how she was treating Ryan on his platform. I was remembering how she was trying to insert herself into making sure that because she wanted to get a hold of Ryan, and she was making sure that she was going to have that happen. And so in the back of my mind, I'm sitting there remembering all that. So I'm just trying to keep the peace with her, and I'm apologizing to her, but not knowing what I'm even apologizing for, because on this platform, you've had to have done a whole lot to drive me crazy. And then the day before, to where I'm trying to ask you to please be respectful, just calm down, don't yell, just calm down, and let's have some peace, And then I have to tell her, that over and over again, to the point where I have to literally go offline. I had to end my whole live just in that conversation, because my nerves, she was getting to my nerves. Okay. All right. So in these messages, like, it was a whole lot. It was a whole lot. And she felt like I needed to apologize to her publicly, because I even asked her, I said, what do you need this video for? I said, are you trying to sue Ryan and Carbon is Falling or what? And she was like, I don't know. I have the messages, but I'm not trying to put them up here, but it's like trying to talk to her. It's like, it's frustrating. It's so frustrating, because she's right and you're never going to be right. And even if you try to de-escalate the situation, it's just not going to work. It's nothing you say is going to be good enough. I felt like almost like she wanted me to grovel down and maybe kiss her feet. And she's a velvet and I'm a malia. And that's where when I started feeling like that, that's where I drew the line. Maybe I should read you guys the messages, because maybe you guys need to see for yourself that I try, Okay. The first message she sent. Okay. Let's see. And she had sent me a message on March 24th, but I didn't get that message until I got this one. Oh, she said that she's rescinding it because the first email she sent me, it went to the wrong email, or to another email or something. I don't know. But she says, if you guys want to listen to this, I'll read it. But she says, hello, Sasha. I would love to have the opportunity to speak my truth and show my receipts. What receipts? What receipts? Because from everything that she sent me, after I went through all of this messaging with her, the only thing I got out of all of all of her receipts was that, in my opinion, she was feeling like feeling jilted because Ryan cut ties with her because of how she was behaving. And she said, I would love to have the opportunity to speak my truth and show my receipts, because that's what you asked on your channel last week, before many other times blocking and muting me in comments. No, not many other times. I only blocked her once. And I did that after having to tell her so many times to chill out. And I don't regret it. You allowed him to attack my name and character without giving me a chance to defend it. I don't think he was attacking you. I think he's just trying to avoid you. I'm sorry, but that's just, in my opinion, that's what I got from that. And he tried to tell you, I just don't want anything to do with you. Even after I'm trying to, I'm trying to be the middle person and say, hey, why can't you guys just try to work it out? If you guys can't work it out, just, instead of fighting on here, just talk about it offline. You guys don't have to come on here and put all your business out here. She said, you choose to stand by Ryan and abandon the person who has been harassed and threatened by him, and Carbon is falling. Okay, well, I don't see, and like I said, I don't see what goes on YouTube. Has he been harassing her? Because I haven't seen that. I'm sorry, I haven't. In the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, well, if he's doing that, I'm sorry about that, but I don't know where I'm the blame here. And I thought you were fair and unbiased channel who allowed me at one point to voice my opinions and comments to completely avoiding me and shunning me out. I defended you and showing the utmost respect to you until you showed your true colors and turned on me. I don't think you are fully aware of whom you are dealing with when it comes to Ryan and why he uses you and your platform to spew his lies and narrative. And again, maybe he did do that. I don't know. There are things that you're not aware of, and what you are aware of, you have only heard and stuck to one side when there are three sides to every story. You have ignored that, and that makes me wonder, Sasha, are you really about helping and spreading awareness, or are you now part of just for content like views and money? Okay, so I read that, and instead of acting out and just telling her what I really wanted to say, I still tried to remain calm. Okay. And I said, I'm trying to de-escalate because I'm feeling like something's getting ready to happen. I said, hello, Lex. How are you? You're right. I didn't give you a chance to hear your side of the story, even though I did. Okay, you guys, because I did. I brought her up on the panel, and her and Ryan could not talk. It wasn't going to happen. I tried. I'm willing to hear your side. If you would like to come in around 4, I'll be going live. I told Ryan this morning, I just didn't think it is best to work with him anymore and won't have him back on my platform. It's for many different reasons. Although I'm not upset with him, something just wasn't right. I tried to unblock you. You can now let me know if that went through so you're able to come in. Again, you're right. I'm so sorry for blocking you. I didn't block you for Ryan. I just didn't want any fighting. And once again, I told her I don't want any fighting. Okay. And then here again, I said, I sent her another one. I said, sorry to bother you again, but I'm out for lunch with my son. And I had to reschedule it for between 4 to 6 because I was out to lunch at that time and I was running a little bit late getting back. And I assured her that Ryan won't be coming in to speak. And then I also told her that I wanted her to come in and give her side of the story, but she had to do it calmly. I kind of reminded her again, no, just, be calm. Okay. So then let's see. Okay, then she said, oh, you did nothing wrong. I did the exact same thing privately in the text the morning after he went to Tokyo Tony's platform. And that's another thing that made her mad, because she's in my opinion, she's controlling too, guys. I seen that side of her on Ryan's platform. I seen that side of her. And she said, I texted you with the number you provided. Please send a response so I can provide you with my parting text to Ryan. I have never disrespected Ryan on live or off my receipts. My receipts prove that. The last live I did with him last Wednesday, he got so mad because I told him the things he discusses aren't for Bigo. He threw a tantrum and shut down the live. I called him after, and he avoided me from there on. Well, you know what? I had to shut down a live too one time because of her. Because I even seen where she was on somebody else's platform, and they had to tell her to chill out. So I'm just gonna, it wasn't that he threw a tantrum. It's that you were telling him to shut up on his live and yelling at everybody. That's what happened, you guys. I'm not going to go into all these things. She sent me every text between her and Ryan. She even sent me a picture of Ryan's daughter in her arm. Who does that? I have so many texts here. And I thought to myself, oh my God, how... And I'm trying to find, hang on a minute. Because she did text me. It got so bad that by the time she was done with me, I was so mentally, I was so out of it. It wasn't even funny. I was so out of it. I was so exhausted. Like, I wish I could just, I don't want to read all her text or her messages because it's not good. At one point, I even had to tell her, girl, please get some help because, and then I had to tell her, you know what? You got to stop texting me. You got to stop messaging me because this is getting ridiculous at this point, And then she threatened me with her lawyer. I said, please have your lawyer call me so I can tell him that you're harassing me. Please have your attorney freaking text me so I can tell him to advise you to stop harassing me. It was bad, guys. It was bad. So and then I've read all the messages between her and Ryan. And the only thing he was telling her was, I don't want to work with you anymore. She's controlling, I'd like to find those messages because I'd like to read you some of them, just so you know. Let me see, because I probably had to block her. She was driving me crazy. She sent me, it took almost a whole day for her to send me all the texts between her and Ryan. A whole freaking day. Okay? And you guys, it's wearing me out just talking about this. Because she does something to me mentally. Oh, God. And then she treats you like Well, you needed to be corrected. No, honey, I don't need to be corrected. Okay, I'm almost 50 years old. Who are you to correct me? I don't need to be corrected. Like, I'm sure after talking to Ryan like that a lot, I'm sure he got sick of it. Let's see. And she wants everybody to think she's a victim, but she's not. She's not the victim, I'm telling you. Let's see. I'll read you just well, here, I'm going to read you guys the message of why what Ryan said in the message to her. And then after he sent her that, she went on some kind of she was jilted or something because she got upset. She was upset that Ryan wanted to end the thing with her. Let's see. I get why Ryan wanted to end it with her. Well, see, this is a message between her and Carbon is falling. Let me see. Hold on, guys. She sent me, because this is all these messages are between her and Carbon is falling, I think. She hasn't been seen or heard from. Okay, hold on. Something about setting Nature Boy up or something. Let's see. In between. Hold on a minute, guys. I have to filter through all of this because, okay, this is crazy. Hold on, guys. So she's sending Carbon is falling all of her and Ryan's messages like she's dealing with me. I'm trying to find the message where Ryan's telling her why he wants to cut ties with her because it was in here. Be either way, he's just saying that he wanted to cut ties with her because something about how she's controlling, and he was telling her that nobody's going to tell him what to say on his platform. And I don't blame him, guys. I don't blame him. And then she messaged him and says, there's a whole lot of messages between her and Ryan. And she's constantly, he's like, after he told her that he wanted to cut ties with her and be done, and you know, because he thinks that that's for the best. She was like, oh, but Ryan, let me see. I wish I could find that. There's so many of them here, though. Hold on a second, guys. I will find that. See, even here, she's telling us, I think it's Carbon's falling. I need answers, or I will definitely take matters into my own hands. Now, this is my life that's being toyed with, and all I did was help. I'm done with playing with the Eligio 2.0. What is going on? See, because she's very demanding. Like, and then this person says, see, this is what I'm talking about. I asked you nicely to respect my space. I don't know you from a can of paint, and you cannot and will not harass me. You are being dramatic at this point. You have literally been around a week. Please stop acting like you actually put in any solid work besides sitting in Bigo. And I think that's Ryan telling her that. And you cannot demand me to talk about something that I told you I did not want to talk about right now. And she's like, I got what I needed now. And see, that's how she was with me and in my messages with her. It's like, girl, stop harassing me. And she just would not stop. She just kept on and on and on. Let's see. And then at one point here, he's like, hey, I hear you're talking about my daughter and where she's located. I cannot believe that you would do something like that and put a child at risk. It's okay, though, because God sees everything. I'm going to be contacting San Antonio police for putting a child welfare in danger. Let's see. There's a lot, guys. There's a lot. And it just does not stop. Let's see. I'll have to sift through all this and find that message where he wanted to end everything because of how controlling she was. And she pretty much was asking, like saying, oh, even after he clearly told her he didn't want to work with her anymore, she wouldn't stop. She just kept on and on. And he was like, I just think it's better that we don't, we can't work. I can't work with someone like you. And here, there's even other people in here that she's messaging and she's not leaving them alone. She's harassing them. And she sent these messages to me, and I don't know if she knew what she was doing, but she put her own foot in her mouth by sending these messages to me, because if I really put these messages out, you're going to see the amount of harassment that really goes on and bullying. But see, she said that I was the one bullying her, and I don't bully people, nor was I bullying her. So yeah, if you guys want me to do a video to show all these messages, I will do it so you guys can see for yourself, because it's a lot. Okay, so does anybody want to come up and speak? Because you're more than welcome to. Let me see what. It's all on here. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm just rereading all these messages from her. Oh gosh, it's a lot. Does anybody want to come up and speak, or let's see. I'm reading through your messages now. Okay. Let's see. Why do you think he wants? Oh, okay. I think I already answered that. I don't know. I think I don't know. Didn't he have like a girl that went to his house a little bit ago? It was one of his, a lady or something. Vanessa says, what is it he wants to explain? It's sad because he's got so much support and he didn't stick with it. Yeah, that was a big issue for me too, Vanessa. Yeah, I just don't see how you can say that you want to take. That was my issue with him. That was the issue, is that I don't know. It was a lot. There was a few issues I had. All right. Well, if no one wants to come up, I think that's all I have for you guys. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. If anything else happens, I will definitely be back on here. You guys have a wonderful night. God bless.